Hey guys, how are you all? Hope so you all are doing well. Okay, so let's start the story without any further conversation. I changed my writing style, but I think that's good. Hmm. The boy sit. The boy sit on the kitchen. I am hungry fast, Mrs. Min. Haha, it's hungry. Wait a little bit more, Jimin. How much? He make a pouch, Mrs. Min. You go and call Yoongi till the breakfast done. Jimin, I don't go to call him. He sat with a pouch and started to play with his fingers. Mrs. Min, what happened? She asked with a smile. Jimin, mom, he come home late first, and when I said I want to talk with him, he said he want to sleep. Okay, I understand, but I don't said him come later, and he come. So you him for everything, but you don't do as he don't you, Jimin. Yes, mom, I don't sleep. Then I also go and my Mrs. Min chickle, Mrs. Min, that's good. Jimin, yes, I don't call him. He come by himself, Jimin said, and Mrs. Min nodded. Mrs. Min, okay, okay, you don't go as you said. And then Mrs. Min done with making breakfast. Jimin eyes sparkled to see his favorite pancakes. Mrs. Min, here you eat. I gave him breakfast when he come, she said, and Jimin nodded. He started it still sit on the Mrs. Min smiled widely, seeing him while eating breakfast, and then I come downstairs. Jimin seeing him, he roll his eyes and start to do his breakfast. Yoongi come he look at Jimin and then at his mom to ask and then at his mom to ask what happens. She smile and go from there. Jimin continue to eat peacefully. Jimin continue to eat peacefully. Yoongi see him, and then he sign as he remember something. Yoongi Jimin don't such anything. Yoongi is at me, he said. Then Jimin look into another side. Yoongi look at me. He stand in front of him. Jimin look at him with a pouch, and the all chocolate is all on. And he again start to eat. Yoongi chuckled to see him. Yoongi, don't you let Young Jimin know. Yoongi, oh please don't do this, Jimin. I don't talk with you. Done with the eating pancakes. Yoongi smiled to see him. Jimin about to when Yoongi and Jimin him and place his hand on his, give him a look. Yoongi chuckle. Yoongi try to understand. Young will last. Jimin didn't said anything. Yoongi do then you can give me and me, he said, and Jimin think for a second and then he nodded. Yoongi, okay, Jimin, tell me, Jimin, your is you come home early and bring 4 different ice creams and as much I want, he said, and Yoongi chuckled. He nodded. Yoongi accepted. Anything else, Jimin? Yeah, you. Hmm, 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 hmm. You do it daily for 1 month. Yoongi, alright, accepted. Jimin, okay, just this. Yoongi, if you give me like this, I will do daily. Jimin, if you do this again, don't talk with me. Then I make sure you sleep in guest room. He said with a proud face, and Yoongi, no, you don't do this, you me, but don't think to do this. Jimin, I do, he said cutely, and Yoongi listen him. Yoongi, okay, okay, now listen me. Yoongi hold him by Jimin, said Yoongi, I go on. Today you want to come with me? He said, and on his nose and cheeks. Jimin, Hyung, first I think, then I tell you. As that's why so boring, Yoongi. That's true, but you recently give me. I don't want you wait. You wait for me again. So tell me, you want to come with me, Jimin? Okay, okay. Yoongi, okay then. Be ready before 7. Jimin, Yoongi, I am going office. Take care of yourself. Jimin, why so early? Yoongi, I have meeting. Jimin, but you don't do the breakfast. Yoongi, I do in office. Jimin, Young, take care. Huh, Young, take care of yourself. Okay, so wait a minute. I am not. Take care of yourself. When you reach office, call me. Yoongi, okay, okay, I do. Jimin come in. Jimin come in the living room. He see Mrs. Min. He go and sit beside her. Mrs. Min, Yoongi go. Yoongi go. Jimin, yes, Mrs. Min. But you don't do the breakfast, Jimin. I know. Hyung said he do breakfast in office. Hyung also said me to go with him on the Mrs. Min. What you do there, huh? You become bored. Jimin, I know, but mom, see na, I Hyung if I stay at home. There I stay with young Mrs. Min. Okay, Jimin, you also come with us. Mrs. Min, no son, I have some work at home. Jimin, okay, can you help me to choose? It's evening. Jimin is all ready. He is waiting for Yoongi now. He wear a black colored dress, looking so beautiful. Jimin, should I call him? Huh? He about to call Yoongi, but Yoongi enter in the room. Jimin smiled widely and him. Yoongi smiled at him. Jimin, you do lunch and breakfast. You don't call me. Call me in morning. I become so. I. He could speak and look at each other. Jimin smiled to see him. Yoongi, I do lunch and breakfast. I was about to message you, but then my some clients come. Okay, so after this voiceover, I have to go. Academy. Hmm. I got a call and then busy in work. I'm sorry for that. Jimin, it's okay. He said in low voice. Yoongi smile and Yoongi, let's go. He holds his hand. Jimin, you don't. Fresh up, Yoongi. Why am I not looking? Huh? Jimin, you are doing Hyung. I just asked. Yoongi, no, I am fine like this. Let's go. He holds Jimin hand. Jimin, I don't run anywhere. Hyung, Yoongi, I know, but still, he said, and Jimin smile and looking down, and then they go. Soon they reach. Jimin enter in the venue. He sees so many businessmen and she holds Yoongi hand. Yoongi see him. Yoongi, what happened? Jimin, Hyung, why there is so many people? Yoongi, well, this is so here supposed to be so many people. You don't. They all respect you. Everyone know here. Who are you? Jimin, who I am? Yoongi. Jimin smiled. They all feel from you, Yoongi. It's not about being in king, so they all give me respect. Without my permission, they can't do anything. So you don't. Moreover, I am with you. Jimin nodded with a smile. Yoongi, go. Good, let's go now. He's hmm with Jimin and they with Jimin and they both start to walk one by one. Everyone approaching and greet them. Slowly, hello, Mr. Min. He bowed at Yoongi and Yoongi just home. Slowly look at Jimin who's playing with Yoongi. Slowly, who's this, huh? Yoongi ma. He said in cold voice. Jimin look at Yoongi. You're He said, Jimin become confused. Good evening, Mr. Min. He bow at Jimin. Jimin, don't do this, uncle. He said cutely, and Yoongi looked at him with eyes and then mysteriously go. Jimin, Yoongi, yes, Jimin, why? He started to when you introduce hmm, when you introduce me, Yoongi, he become as everyone know how much I can do everything to do. Jimin giggled. Jimin, really? Yoongi, yes. Jimin, Hyung, I am. Can you give me water? He said. Jan. Yoongi nodded. He go and bring water for him. Everyone see him with widened eyes. Jimin drink water. He give glass to Yoongi, who plays on the side. Yoongi, you okay? You want something? If you want something, tell me. Jimin sign as no. Jimin, I don't want anything. Yoongi then approached him. Yoongi, they respectfully talking with him. No one look at him. Jimin Hyung. Yoongi, yes. Jimin Hyung, can I sit there? He pointed on the chair. The chair. Yoongi nodded and Jimin smiled. He go sit on the chair and start to use his phone. Yoongi is talking with, but his eye is on Jimin. Jimin is busy with his mobile when someone approach him and sit on the chair beside him. Jimin and counting to do his work. Hello, he said, and Jimin still busy in his work. Hey, I am talking with you, he said. Dan. Jimin look up. Jimin, sorry, my name is Sangcho. You can call me whatever you want. Jimin, Hyung is not here, uncle. He's there. Go and talk with him. Jimin said innocently. He thought, hmm, don't talk with you. Don't talk with you, Hyung said. I don't talk with anyone. Mr. Chi, come on, you can talk with me, Jimin. He said and hold Jimin's hand. Jimin immediately raised his hand and stand up. He didn't look at him or he said anything. He ran and Yoongi who was talking with the fields to he turned around to see him. He turned and see Jimin look up and seeing him with his innocent expressions. Yoongi, what happened? Jimin, Yoongi, he whispered. Jimin, Yoongi, yes. Jimin could speak. He stopped. Jimin, let's go home. I am feeling sleepy and also you promised you my ice cream for me. Yoongi, you want to go home? Okay then, let's go home. We take your ice cream in our way. He said with a small smile, and then Mr. Choi come. Mr. Choi, hello, Mr. Man. It's really nice to see you. It's really nice to see you here, Mr. Min. He said to Yoongi, but his eyes is on Yoongi. He said and seeing him with his Jimin, let's go. Yoongi nodded. Mr. Choi, why so suddenly, huh? Why so suddenly, Mr. Min? Stay here for some more time. Why don't we talk? He said, Yoongi with a smile. Jimin and Yoongi sit on the car when Jimin looking outside. Yoongi places his hand. Yoongi places his hand on Jimin's hand. Jimin see him and pass him a smile. Yoongi, why you suddenly want to come home? Jimin, I am feeling sleepy, Young, and also I don't lie. Okay, so Jimin and Yoongi sit on the car when Jimin looking outside. Yoongi places his hand on Jimin's hand. Jimin see him and pass him a smile. Yoongi, why you suddenly want to come home? Jimin, I am feeling sleepy, Young, and also hungry. I don't like there. Yoongi chuckle. Yoongi, you can tell me earlier. We come back soon. You can don't. You take. Okay, so you can't do. You take for me, Jimin. You are with me. If you are hungry, you also eat with me. No, you eat. He stopped the car in front of the restaurant and gave Jim an order. They talk a lot. Jim tell him everything what he do in whole day. They come home. Jimin is in. Jimin is in his room. He do his dinner now, eating ice cream. Yoongi sit on the couch doing his work on his laptop and drinking coffee. Jimin see him and then he thinks something. He went towards Yoongi and sit on his Yoongi see him and smile. Yoongi, what happened? Jimin Hyung, I am curious about something. Yoongi, what? Jimin, if I add ice cream in coffee, how it tastes, he said, and Yoongi chuckled. Yoongi, so you want to do this now? Jimin nodded, being excited. Jimin, yes. Yoongi, okay, here you go. He placed the cup of coffee in front of him, and Jimin became happy. He add ice cream. He tastes and ooh, Yoongi Hyung, it's not my ice cream. He make up out, and uh, he make a pouch and Yoongi chuckled too for a long time. Then he see him. Yoongi voice so cute. Jimin, I am not that much young. It's you who think this. Yoongi, no, you are so cute. My cutie little. Jimin heard what he smiled and hid his face in his palm. Yoongi chuckled. Yoongi, what happened? Jimin sighed as no and placed his hand on his head. Yoongi around him carefully. Yoongi, so you are being so cute today, huh? Jimin, I am always like this, Yoongi, yeah, I know you want to sleep. Jimin nodded. Yoongi, let's go then. Okay. Hmm. On the and start with each other and also giggling, laughing and talking. The time the time is so beautiful. The moments is so beautiful. Next day Yoongi go home early and Jimin is in his room. His phone ring, he see the caller ID, he become confused, he ignore. But his phone is again and again ringing. He attend the call. Jimin, hello. Hey. Jimin heard the voice. He see the caller ID. Jimin, who's here? He said, and Jimin stopped on his place. Jimin, you forget me so easily. Jimin, how can I even remember you, when I don't anyone expect Yoongi? Oh, that's not true, right? Jimin, true. He said cutely, you forget me? Jimin, yes, I do. And here Mrs. Min Jimin cut the call. He don't listen what he said. Jimin, mom, you are here. Sit. Mrs. Min sit in front of him and smile. Mrs. Min, what you are doing in Rome? Jimin, nothing. I am just thinking to take why. Mrs. Min, today Yoongi some guest is coming. I thought to inform you. Jimin, who's coming? Mrs. Min, his some business partners. Jimin, Young always do work and work. Now see again, he don't give me time. Mrs. Min laughing. Mrs. Min, you don't talk with him, Jimin. I think this mom, but when I don't talk with him, it starts to take Mrs. Min. Oh, then you do what you think is right, Jimin. Mom, I help you in making dinner. Mrs. Min, as you said, and they both go downstairs. Jimin is in the kitchen. Yoongi guest come. Jimin sit on the on the shelf eating snacks. Yoongi, come. Yoongi, you are why you are eating this? Come, we do dinner together. Jimin, now you do dinner here. I do later. I am not hungry, he said while eating snacks. Yoongi, how you feel hungry when eat snacks, huh? Jimin Hyung, this is so tasty. You also eat, Yoongi. I'm fine. Jimin, no, eat this. He said then. Yoongi, listen him, Jimin. It's good, right? He asked with sparkle eyes, and Yoongi nodded. Jimin, see, I said nah. Mom is best. She makes so good foods. Yoongi chuckle. Simba, Simba, no. And Yoongi is with his business partner talking about some business stuff when his phone vibrates. The text from Jimin Hyun: if you don't come now, I promise I never talk with you. Actually, you do one thing, you them don't come here. Yoongi see his message, then he hides his smile. Mr. Choi, where is your Mr. Min? Yoongi tell Jimin come out. Jimin come out from the room with a big pouch on his face. Jimin, I don't talk with him now. What he think about himself, huh? He is mumbling and then he with someone he about to but someone just Jimin him. Mr. Choi. Carry on. What happens? Jimin see him. He become confused. What he is doing here, Jimin? You uncle? Why you come here, Mr. Choi? I am here for work. Well, for now I am finding. Can you tell me? Jimin, okay. He see the maid and said her to show him. He himself go upstairs. Mr. Choi, Monsieur, how much you high town? Let's see. And then they go from there. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Jimin sit on. Jimin sit on the bed when Jungi come. Jimin say him. And look into another side. Yoongi, you are really at me? Jimin, yes, I am. You spent more time with them. Yoongi, alright, my whole time is yours from now. Jimin, really? Huh, you know? What now? You said you are tired, so you sleep. Yoongi, no. That song, you set me by yourself. Sleep. Jimin, so when I see you all chat, so I said this. He said with a pout and Yoongi smile. Yoongi, alright, ma, I am in. Jimin, yes, you are. Yoongi, so the of my life won. What won now? And Jimin, nothing. Just you with me. He said, and Yoongi, okay. Yoongi, so ma, miss me. Jimin, yeah, I don't even do the dinner. Yoongi, I know. I such made she bring dinner. Jimin, you do dinner with them. Yoongi, never ever. How can I eat without my mini? He said, and Jimin smiled and then made knock on the door. Jimin sit on the bed and Yoongi bring the dinner. He started him and they both is laughing and giggling together to do the dinner. Like this life is so perfect, but not too much and every time, right? So okay, it's finished before 3:10. Yeah. Okay, Jimin is at home today as Yoongi go on. Jimin is for him. Whenever he go, Jimin become and Mrs. Min go to meet her friend. She said Jimin he come, but he don't listen her. Jimin sit in Jimin sit in the living room watching TV. There is in their own rooms when the doorbell ring. Jimin think Mrs. Min come. He go to open the door. He say Mr. Choi. Jimin don't know why he feel. Jimin, yes. Mr. Choi, how are you, Mr. Min? Jimin, why you come here? Mr. Choi, I am here to meet Yoongi, he said and enter in house. Jimin, Yoongi is not at home. You can come later, he said. Mr. Choi, it's okay. I meet his mom. Jimin, mom is also not at home. You go. Mr. Choi turned with a and he went toward Jimin. Jimin become Mr. Choi. That's good. If no one is here, Jimin, you can go. Come when they come. He about to open the door, but then he Mr. Choi, you are really so innocent, or just so I give you more, huh? Jimin, he said that he is trying. Jimin is he become and. Jimin saw Mr. Choi sit in front of him. Jimin, Mr. Choi, you have so much, right? Jimin, I don't do anything, he said, Jen from his eyes. Huh. Yeah, Jimin. Okay, now I will not say that time. Also. And then Mr. Choi chuckled. Mr. Choi, you may don't do anything but that Yoongi do. He take my place. I will be the next if he and his happiness with you. I know I don't him emotionally. He said then start laughing like a Jimin is so Jimin please, and then he start to Jimin about to, but no one hears. Hey, you little kid, if you tell Yoongi something and I don't, I will not. He said, Jan scoffed from there. Okay, so Jimin, listen him. No way, of course he tell Yoongi everything. How can he hide from Yoongi all this, right? Hmm. Okay. So finally, this is the third last scene. It's night time. It's night time when Yoongi come home. Jimin is still in the room. Mrs. Min also comes. She see Jimin is high in the, and then she thought Jimin is sleeping. Yoongi also don't Jimin. He go in his room and fresh up. Jimin slowly out from the blanket. He see himself and his eyes. He can hide this from his young. No way. How can someone him? How can do this? Jimin slowly he can't out like this. He come in his room and see Yoongi. Huh. Okay. So let's see. Jimin come in, come in. Jimin come in a room. He see Yoongi. She fell from his eyes like a Jimin ran toward him and he started Yoongi freeze on his place for some times when he see Jimin is his brush on the side. Yoongi Mini, what happened? Why you are Jimin look at him with his nose cheeks and that is Yoongi. Jimin Yoongi Yoongi calm down, Jimin. He's and Yoongi don't know what he's saying. He is Yoongi, look at me, please. Here, look at me, he said then. Jimin looked at him, he on his eyes. Yoongi, tell me what happened. Someone said something to you or anyone. You tell me, I ask from them, Jimin Hyung. He it's Yoongi heard all this. And Yoongi, who do this? Jimin again, he want himself and his young Yoongi. Who do this? Jimin, that uncle come. He said she will be on your place if you and me. Jimin Yoongi heard all this. He looked at Jimin. Yoongi, who is he? Jimin, he come home. Yoongi, tell me, Jimin, that uncle who said he want to talk with you, and he also come here. You sent him uh, upstairs. He asked you. Yoongi start to Yoongi sign. He looked at Jimin. He looked at Jimin. Okay, so um, Yoongi, you Jimin nodded, and Yoongi, why he go office? Yoongi placed his hand on Jimin's cheek. So he looked at Jimin and Jim Yoongi. He said, "If I tell you anything, he said he come again, please. Ish, I am here. Nothing happens now. Nothing happens. Huh? Jimin, मेरा नहीं है. Jimin Hyung, he do this, he said, and Yoongi is feeling like he will right now. He don't even imagine to see Jimin in this hour and what just happened. Yoongi, he at you, Jimin, who was looking at him. He looked at Jimin, who was looking at him innocently. Okay, his eyes, him, Jimin. I will take your he I promise, he said. And Yoongi can see Jimin is calm. And he slowly back and see Jimin sleeping while him and sit on the bed with the blanket and look at Jimin, who's sleeping peacefully. How much innocent she is. Yoongi calls someone. Yoongi, I don't care. Call the every do whatever you want. I want that joy within 2 hours, he said and cut the call. Yoongi looked at Jimin, and Yoongi asked Yoongi, me please Jimin. So it's Yoongi is thinking it's his now. I am you please, he's saying, and Yoongi started. How can he be that much? He never at him. How can he think to? The thought is him. Yoongi is. Look at his mini. He have to be strong for his Jiminy. He wiped the on Jimin face. Jimin Hyung, let me sleep, he said while sleeping. Yoongi smiled lightly to see him. Jimin and Yoongi stay like this when his phone ringing after some time. We himself he is going, but now he is in the Yoongi him. As much you want, make sure he don't. I come in sometimes, he said, and the call. Hmm. Yoongi look at Yoongi look at Jimin, who is sleeping peacefully on the and she is still on the of him. Yoongi is admiring him and caressing his ears when Jimin open his eyes slowly. He sees Yoongi. Don't sleep, Jimin. Yoongi, you want something? You okay, Jimin? It's Young, he said, and Yoongi, where he? No, and she said, and Yoongi become. He sit on the bed and hurriedly call Yoongi, come anytime. Jimin see him innocently. Young, I am to you, please. Jimin, it's not your Young, but your meaning is a one and myself in. Huh? And myself in. Okay, room. I did, I did right. Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, you did right, but from now on, room. I did right. Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, you did right, but from now on, I will make sure you don't this. I promise, he said, and Jimin see Yoongi with so much trust in his eyes. And then someone knocked on the door. Come and start asking, but it's like Yoongi, I know. Here, take this. You will be fine, he said, and gave some and to Jimin, who took without saying anything, as it's not just Young who's giving him the go. Yoongi, you okay? Jimin nodded. Jimin, I will We find Yoongi, anything I can do? Jimin, yes, smile, ice cream, he said, and Yoongi smiled back. And do you see Jimin? Okay. So there is no chance to do voiceover on this whole text. Whole text. So of course I don't do if there is no chance to. Hmm. You are read this by yourself. Only a little bit voiceover are left, just some. Hmm. Maybe 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, and she see Jimin here. Okay, and oh, okay. I write too much, literally. It's finished soon. Just yeah, 2 minutes. Yoongi look at Jimin. Yoongi, I promise. Jimin nodded with Yoongi smiled lightly to see him. Next day, Yoongi wake up. He sees Jimin is sleeping peacefully, like nothing happens. He don't disturb his sleep, go and freshen, then go out to do some work. And on the other side, hmm, and here, huh, it's just finished soon. Like that is really so beautiful. Hmm. Yeah, the room is really so beautiful. I just noticed now. Well, second last scene and the third last text. Just sit on the chair. His is like from Inna, as they him a lot and many more Yungi come and sit. See him his eyes widen. Yungi eyes you. His voice is so Yungi. How you tried to? He said and start him and how you. He said and don't me please. You this one also you read by yourself. As there is so many words, I don't do voiceover on them. So you read this by yourself. Only 1 minute voiceover left. Wow, it's finished soon as I expected. Wait a minute, where are you going? And hmm, second last scene and a second last text. I will not. He said and stand there saying him a little. When Yoongi last scene and the last text, Yoongi come in room. He see Jimin is sleeping peacefully. Still he smile and both sleep peacefully.